I really hate rainy day or ride a motorcycle. Cause I need to wear boots, leather clothes, freaking hot. I have a confession to make. I haven't really learned Russian for like a month and a half, and I did learn Russian for like 5 or 6 years. But I would say the level of my Russian is better than my spoken Thai. But when it comes to the confidence of speaking, then as far as I remember, the only chance I got to speak a few sentences of Russian is when I was in Thailand. Time to catch up, bro. Oh, if you're wondering how many languages I speak, well, I'm Chinese, so I speak Mandarin. And China is a huge country, so we also have our dialect. But I barely speak that because I consider language for communication. If I already use Mandarin for easier communication, then I won't go with the dialect. But I do admit by using dialect, it is easier to get closer to locals. But if I have any friends who I have to speak a dialect to make the relationship closer, I'll just pass. And by now, I'm pretty sure you have seen the majority of my video. I speak English with accent, cause I'm freaking Chinese, bro. So I am able and confident to speak English is because my major is English. The fact is I also learned French, but because I haven't used it for a long time, so I already forgot everything. Shit, my hair. So when I graduated from university, my job is international sales. I started to learn stuff on YouTube about sales, about different techniques. I would say although English is just a language, but because it is widely used by many nations, if you want to share something, the English can be a good option. I would say 50% of the reason why I become who I am today is because of Google and YouTube.
3-4 years are gonna fit.
Like right now I'm learning Russian, and with some shortcut key with YouTube, it's very easy for me to jump sentence. Battery. You know, I feel awkward to say I speak Russian. I've learned it for how long? I think maybe 5 to 7 years. Averagely, I spend 1 hour per day to learn Russian. But I figure it's just too complicated. I mean, take spoken Thai as example. I learned it just 3 months and I can already frequently speak Thai. But for Russian, after 5-7 years, what can I say? I can only speak a daily sentence. And when I listen to Russian music, Russian news, I barely understand it. So why Russian? You know, for English, I can already speak it and it is a generally used language, right? But there was a country which named the Soviet Union. They speak Russian. And a lot of Russian guys, they actually don't speak English. It's just like in China, you can't use VPN, you can't use Google, YouTube. And the relationship between Russian and China, I would say, is close. So why not learn Russian? Not to mention those cute blonde girl. You know, at that time, Ukrainian people also speak Russian. And now because of the war, Ukrainian people speak their own language, which is still close to Russian. With no offense. Besides English, I can also fluently speak Spanish. Although in China it is considered minor foreign language, but the fact is in South America, North America, it is widely used. And be honest, if you already speak English, Spanish is actually pretty easy if we don't consider the grammar too much. Brilliant. The level of my Spanish, I thought it was at least B2 or C1 because when I watch Spanish documentary, I can understand like 70-80% of that. But there was one time I took an interview. It was a job to Argentina. Now when I took the interview, they said I need to be more fluent. I was like, okay. But I have confidence on my Spanish because obviously it won't be as good as my English, but during the interview I didn't pause because I can quickly switch word. I believe they might need someone who have a lot of vocabularies. I mean, I do have, but it's just the first time took interview, maybe too nervous. Holy cow, I got to prove myself next time. Maybe a trip to South America. Brilliant idea. And lastly, I can speak Thai. Although the pronunciation is poor, but I speak with confidence. And occasionally, I'll be corrected by Thai people for my pronunciation. But the purpose of language is to communicate. I would even make a mistake when I'm speaking Chinese. So, what does it matter if you have tried? And before ending this video, I want to mention able to speak a different language doesn't mean too much. Anything you want to do, spend enough time and you will get the reward. I would say language is just a way to communicate, to learn stuff. And if you only have the time for one language, I would strongly recommend English. Not because it's better or superior, it's because the majority of the world, even the mother tongue isn't English, but we use English to communicate. So by learning that, using that, you will learn a lot of stuff which you wouldn't have access before. And that's the reason why majority of my video is made in English. I get a lot of benefits by learning new stuff through English, and now I want to do the same to my audience. So that's it for me today. I will see you guys tomorrow.